So most people don't really know my actual journey, so I'm going to share it. I've been day trading for 8 years, and it's a long 8 years, right? I've been through the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And I just want to say, don't give up. And here's the reason why. When I discovered day trading, I was at a very vulnerable state in my life. I was like freelance digital marketing for clients. I was hustling. I was driving Uber, and I saw these people trading, and I was kind of desperate. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow, these guys seem like they're doing really well. Come to find out, it was like an MLM kind of thing, and it was just very immature kind of group. But I was hooked, and I was still kind of in that desperate situation to like get ahead in life. I'm turning 30 at the time, I think, and I was just like, I need to get ahead. I'm like stressed out with work. I need to find something. And so
I can do things for you whenever you want, such as calling
what the
someone,
hell?
writing text.
Sorry guys.
Can you say it
Stop.
again, please?
Mercedes,
Could you
stop.
repeat that, please?
Bro, I'm gonna turn this shit off. And so yeah, I was blowing accounts because obviously I didn't know how to trade. And I was getting into these like sticky situations financially because I was barely getting ahead. I was barely floating. I was making good money, but I had an expensive apartment, I had the car, and it was just like I was just not getting ahead. So one small emergency would set me back, and I would have to, put things on my credit card, and it was horrible. I joined groups, signals, and I drank all the Kool-Aid, and I found myself like getting lost in the sauce because there were just so many distractions. There was like just groups, there was mentors and gurus, and there was YouTube, and I was just trying to find all the best strategies, and I was blowing accounts back to back, and for 3 years, and it got to the point where I'm like, all right, like I gotta like not focus on trading. I need to get a job. Like I need to like do something more serious, like a corporate job or whatever. So I kind of like fell back into corporate because I'm like, yo, I'm not successful at this trading shit. So, but I was always dabbling, and then I discovered prop firms, right? So FTMO at the time was like the relevant prop firm. And I got funded one time and then I got paid out once. And same thing, now I'm pouring money into prop firms, spending $600 or whatever. And it just wasn't working, and it was just like, yo, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm seeing all these YouTubers, they're getting payout, 20K payouts, there was somebody who got 6 figures, and I'm like, I just can't give up. So I got into that loop again, that vicious cycle of like, all right, like I'm gonna pay for 2 accounts, I'm gonna do $200,000, like I'm gonna fucking just do it. I'm gonna get 200K, and then I'm gonna just be easy with the risk management, only risk 1% per trade kind of thing. And I just really believe that I can do it. I just need one account, right? It never popped off. So now I'm in year 4, and I end up like, moving, and I'm like, all right, I need a fresh start. Let me just refocus. So I'm focused on my sales career. Good job, I'm getting paid 6 figures or whatever, but the lifestyle that I wanted just was like more. I wanted to be more than average, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, all right, I gotta become extremely disciplined, and like I need to just go berserk with it, you know what I mean? So I was working, going straight to the charts. I was staying up London session. I was getting like 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep, man. And hold on, let me turn this back on. It's a little hot in here. And so now I'm in the vicious cycle of working corporate, trading full time, and I'm like breaking even, you know what I'm saying? Like I make $1,000 and then I would lose it, and then I'd eventually blow my account. And just the cycle continues, man. So I got to a mental low point in my life where I'm like, this ain't for me. Like I've been doing this for 4 years. This ain't never gonna pop off. Like I don't think it's gonna work. So I started almost, I don't want to sound dramatic, but when you've been obsessed and optimistic and like, determined for so many years, like, and you just don't get any ounce of hope with this shit, low-key, I got kind of depressed, man. And like, I was just like, yo, like I'm mounting up to be just average, you know what I mean? Like just really hard on myself. And I had a decent, I had a decent life. Like it wasn't bad, but again, I'm on a treadmill, working the corporate life. I got a manager on my ass, talking about, hey, you need to get more meetings, you need to hit your quota. And I was just unhappy. I'm like, damn, like motherfuckers is driving Lamborghinis, fucking all types of supercars. And just like now they're comparing, you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, I'm comparing. And yeah, man, so now this is when life gets real tough. My family had some health issues. I ended up getting fired. And I'm like, damn, I got this expensive ass apartment in San Diego. I don't even know what I'm about to do. The job market is very competitive. So, I'm on LinkedIn I'm applying for like 60 jobs or whatever. Nothing's popping off. And I'm like, all right, well, like, I'm a fuck up. That's how hard I was on myself. And I just got desperate. So I was at this low point and I just prayed. And I was like, I'm a good person. Why is this happening to me? Like, I'm barely keeping jobs now because I'm just burnt out with sales, corporate. I'm not making any money trading. So I broke down and prayed. And I'm like, I need help.
I can do things for you whenever
bro,
you
what the
want,
fuck?
such as calling someone.
Sorry guys,
text
I just got this new
messages, or
car and I
playing
don't even know how to fucking
music.
use
Because
this
my
shit,
heart's
bro.
in it, I know everything there is to know about driving.
Stop.
So
So I'm praying and I'm just like, yo, I just lost my ego. I just surrendered to God. And I just put trading behind me. I'm like, all right, like, fuck trading. I'm just gonna be a disciplined man, right? I'm gonna control what I can control, right? I need my manhood back, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym. I'm gonna start counting my macros. I'm gonna be a real disciplined man. I started watching the YouTubes and everything. And, just the mindset stuff. Cause I'm in a low point in my life, because I was so hard on myself. And it's like, okay, I need to get my mindset back. So I got the discipline, I'm in the gym. I get the mindset thing popping off, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better, just small wins, counting my small wins. And long story short, like I started feeling better just with life in general. Like I was just getting a little bit of momentum with just like accomplishing small tasks. So like now I'm stacking little small wins and I'm getting motivation. And honestly, this may be controversial, but I'm gonna just share anyways. There's this guy named Wes Watson. He's based in Miami now. He's from San Diego actually, but he moved to Miami, and he was like really big on discipline and like just extreme discipline and just getting shit done no matter what, and how like you can change your life by being a disciplined man. And so I just went crazy. Just 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., waking up, going to the gym. It's still nighttime when I'm driving. And I almost kind of felt numb, you know what I mean? Because it was so redundant. But through that experience, I realized like I started getting super cut. And the dude's right. He may be a little, unorthodox, and, he cusses and he doesn't have a filter, and, a lot of people hate him and shit. But things started clicking. I started getting a lot more clarity. My creativity started skyrocketing, I started meeting interesting people, because here's the thing, and he's right about this. When you wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., you're around other high-level people that are, locked in. And so I met somebody at the gym, she was like an influencer or whatever. Long story short, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm aligning, like waking up this early, I'm aligning myself. So now the spiritual aspect started, like I feel like my vibrations were starting to raise up, because, I'm accomplishing small tasks. My motivation's up spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Like I prayed, I'm in the mindset stuff. So I'm like vibrating at a higher level now. And so now I'm starting to meet interesting people randomly, spontaneously, right? And then so I met a couple other guys, and they kind of shared their story with me, and something just clicked. So I'm like, you know what? Let me hop back on YouTube. Let me hop back on trading. And let me just start documenting my journey. And I think because my motivation came back and I was vibrating at a high level, my motivation was back, right? So my motivation's back. I'm like, all right, let me try this trading shit one more time. I shit you not, I started making money. I'm getting my TPs, all my breakdowns, I'm hitting. You know, I'm getting winning streaks, right? Things start just moving in the right direction. And all of a sudden I'm like, damn, I'm actually consistent and profitable. And for the first time, I realized, because I used to watch these YouTube videos all the time. It's mindset. It's all psychology. And like, I believed it, but I wasn't convicted. Because it's like, I was so focused on the charts and the technical analysis and the multi-time frame analysis, top down, all this indicator, like, you know, price action, you know, like, I was focused on the wrong thing, because trading is actually a very repetitive, simple thing that you do every day. You literally do the same thing every day, just like a gym, right? Just like prayer in the morning, just like, it's literally the same thing. And here's what it was. I was trying too hard. Man. And I had to, you know, go through some shit to take a step back and detach from the actual money aspect. Because yes, of course, I'm like, I went into trading to make money, and most people are. But trading is a performance machine. You have to perform. It's not about money, right? Like, people who play basketball or people who play sports, when they do it, middle school, high school, college, it's performance. It's for the love of the game. And the byproduct is, when you become real passionate and you don't give up and you stay down, you're gonna make it to the big leagues. I'm in the big leagues now, you know what I'm saying? Because I detached myself from putting money on a pedestal. And so when I was talking to God every day during this chapter in my life, he answered my prayers, because I was like, I'm a good person. I'm the type of person that wants to give back. I want to give my people some sort of vehicle to, you know, show them that it's possible. But it wasn't happening for me. So I'm like, how can I show people it's possible if I can't even fucking do it myself? And so the biggest thing that I would take away from this rant, and sorry if I'm like rambling and going on tangents and repeating myself, but if you're in that sticky situation where, you know, let's be real, I think it's like 67% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, have less than $3,000 in their bank account or something. I don't know. But if you can relate to my story, you got to do different to get different. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm not pushing any sort of spirituality or God on you, but if you're desperate, just pray. Number one, it's not going to hurt. It takes 30 seconds. Doesn't cost any money. Number two, refocus on getting into the gym, staying disciplined, eating right, and listen to go on YouTube and get motivated. Listen to Eric, the hip hop preacher, you know, listen to Tony Robbins, all that shit that you probably have done already in the past. Lock back in, you know what I mean? And do everything in sync, you know? Don't just listen to mindset and not go to the gym and eat like shit, right? Go to the gym, eat good, get your mind right, pray up, and detach from, oh, I need to make X amount of money. When you do that, you're not gonna make any money, because you're doing it for the money. Do it for the performance. Do it for the love. And yeah, so what I did was I basically have this structured routine down, and it just works. It just works, I'm telling you. Like, Wes Watson, he tapped into something and boom, he took off. Yeah, you know, like I said, he's controversial or whatever. And, you know, some people see him as like kind of like a, I don't know, a snake oil sales kind of guy or whatever. But let's be honest, when it comes to success, I hear this over and over and over again from multiple people. Being disciplined, having a routine, eating right, getting your mind right. It's all the same. But you gotta detach from just trading to make money. So, find your passion again, take a step back, refocus, and get out that vicious cycle, because I was there definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like behind on my payments, run credit cards up just to pay bills, and just, I was almost caught up in that cycle where I couldn't even get out. And it's just embarrassing as an adult, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to tell nobody, so I kept everything to myself. I started getting real low on myself, depressed. I was like, man, the only thing I can do is just bounce out and like focus on what I can control. So I kind of just little by little, next thing you know, I'm getting fit, I'm feeling more confident. The confidence turned into motivation. The motivation turned into, all right, bet, like let's keep this momentum up. And then I just kind of took off from there, you know what I'm saying? So I do have this structured routine. I have resources, so if you're trying to tap in, I got it down, you know what I'm saying? Not on some cocky shit, but it worked. My life has changed. I'm super thankful that God has received my prayers, but you gotta surrender. You gotta lose your ego, and you can't force yourself to make it happen. You're not in control. You're not in control of the markets. You're not in control of your life. God is, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta tap in and raise your vibrations higher and higher in order to align yourself to be the most optimal person you can be. If you're not optimized, abundance isn't gonna flow through. So, trading, definitely psychological, definitely a mindset thing. All the super successful traders that talk about mindset and psychology, it's real. It's real, man. So that's all I got. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I just wanted to get this off my chest, man, because I'm in a good place in life, and I just know for a fact that like there's somebody out there that's struggling, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully this touches you, man.